Red Nation, are we here?
The best show for Chicago sports.
Yeah. What's good? What Shannon Sharp did? Oh, yeah. Yes. It is a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And we got the full squad in the building. On today's show, we're going to be breaking down Daniel Jeremiah's report of don't sleep on Bijan Robinson to the Bears. Y'all already know how I feel. We're going to be talking about it with the super producer Joel Holt, who's out of the 1980s, because he loves a good running back in the first round. You know what I mean? He loves a good running back in the first round. And also, are the NBA referees ruining the first round? At least keep the calls consistent if we're gonna be throwing people out, keeping people in, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the date is 4/21/2023, and I still ain't came down off of this high. Yeah.
Drink your water, folks.
Let's go. Yeah, just light vibes on a Friday. Just the light vibes on a Friday. Shout out to Jimmy Got Soul. This beat still slaps. This beat slaps every morning. Like legit, every morning I literally just go, this beat slaps. What's going on, everybody, man? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. If you have not done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports on this page daily. Y'all out here blowing up every other Chicago sports channel. Y'all might as well,
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button.
hit that like button.
Push the button.
5-star review.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Y'all heard what she said. Y'all didn't really hear what she said, because if you go back and watch the movie, she really gets aggressive about it. But I thought that might be a little much for the show. Hey, boys, how we feeling today, man? We got the full crew in the building in this joint.
Hey, I'm good.
Feeling
The
good.
old
Great. How are you?
I'm in the game, man. I'm a little upset that we still talking about running backs in the first round in 2023. But hey, man, that's what makes good content on this show. Because as we jump straight into this, somebody said, Armbar said, is P Kid sleeping? Yeah, yes he is.
Yeah,
Kid is knocked out right now. You know you can't be looking down, Kid. Like, Kid is the only person I've ever seen that will just sit perfectly still for minutes on end, bro. Like, he just don't move.
Hey, you ever play freeze tag, my boy?
I was not good.
Hey, he was elite. The Tom Brady.
Hey, my boy, that's not good though. You can't be the 5-time champion, because if you were perfectly frozen, that means you got caught. That's how freeze tag works. Like, what are we talking about here, man?
Oh,
hey,
so
man.
freeze tag where if you move when you're supposed to freeze, you lost.
Man, I haven't played that in so long.
That's okay. Y'all had a hood variation on that. That sounded like you was playing freeze tag with your mom. That sounded like you was playing freeze tag with your moms, and she didn't want y'all to be running around the house, and she just tagged both of y'all and was like, all right, we done.
Oh no, you ain't never met my mama. My mama kicked us out the house in the summer.
I respect it.
Hey,
Get
the 90s
out!
was a different time.
Get
You
out!
could disappear for hours and not have to worry about.
Hey,
where
bro,
your kid was at.
facts. My dad come calling me. I'd be like, hey, bro, where you at? Nah, I don't know. I'm just out here. Hey, man, so all this Bijan news, man, Daniel Jeremiah had to report saying, basically, you cannot sleep on the Chicago Bears drafting Bijan Robinson at 9. Now, here's the thing. Y'all know how I feel about running backs. We'll give the super producer his opportunity to make his case for why the Chicago Bears should draft them. Mostly because you don't get to talk on here every day. They've heard my opinions on it. They've heard my thoughts on it. Kid is kind of just like, take whoever's going to help Justin Fields stay upright. Ringo's just like, hey, man, just don't mess it up. Yeah, I mean, don't trade. We traded the pick. We traded the pick.
I want the best player available. All I was saying was, if they take him at 9, I'm not mad because I think he's special. Pat is over there saying he's lumping all running backs in the same group. I'm like, this guy is on that next level. He's like in that Saquon Peterson category. And
whoa. We got Saquon and Peterson in the same category?
Yeah, those are top. I'm talking about top running back. Like
Yeah, I mean, outside of injury, Saquon been pretty solid.
if you look at the
Hey, the Saquon fan don't got Saquon and HB in the same category, dog.
I'm talking about top tier running backs. This guy, my point is that I think he's in that he can catch the ball, he can run. So I'm like, based off this offense that we're running, which is typically predicated on 2 running backs, I think he fits in. My point is, your point is this: you get the running back right, they don't last that long, but what happens is typically they are the workhorse. Like I looked up Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Peterson, and all of them, right? You're talking about 300 carries. Most of them average over 300 carries a season. They're getting beat down. Elliott had 322 carries with 1,600 yards his rookie year with a 5.1 average. And then it's like, yeah, he getting ran to the ground. Peterson, I mean, he had 363 carries one year with 1,700 rushing yards. Like, that's a lot of running. But my point is, if you could pair him, say like how with a young Justin Fields that hopefully he can turn into a 3,000-yard passer with that running back, I'm not mad at it. But I'm not mad if they take him. I know we need linemen. I know we need defensive linemen. I know we need all of that. Yeah. But I'm not going to pass on the highest rated dude just to fill a need that he might be. They might end up getting the second. They could probably get other tackles in the second and third round rated close to each other. That's all I was getting at.
I just don't think that realistically, right, at 9, you're not talking about that, though. Paris Johnson is leaps and bounds better than the tackles in the second and third round. Broderick Jones, to me, is leaps and bounds better than the tackles in the third round. Jalen Carter and Kalijah Kancey are leaps and bounds better to me than any defensive tackle in this draft. Now, you still might find good talent, right? Like, I'm not saying you can't find. That's Ryan Poles' job here. You can still find good talent in that second and third round. But the thing to me is, right, I can find good production. It may not be generational running back production, right? But I'll say this about most of our generational running backs: they don't win. Most of our generational, you want to know the highest paid guy that was the leading rusher in a Super Bowl over the last 20 years? He made $2.5 million.
He's on beast mode.
No, beast mode wasn't the leading rusher that game. That was who was their kick returner? Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin was their leading rusher in that game. Now Beast Mode got well, he didn't get the big hits at the line. That was the problem there. Pete Carroll, how about you figure that out, man? But I just, to me, right, like, running back is a position of need, but if you got the big boys up front, right, you can fill it with anything. Like, to me, like, realistically, right? Like, you look at the Rams when the Rams went on their Super Bowl run. The first time they had what was my man's name?
Marshall Faulk.
No, not that Super Bowl run. I guess I shouldn't say the first time. Todd Gurley, right? They had Todd Gurley. Man. Todd Gurley was that guy. Todd Gurley was this guy.
Yeah.
Who does Todd Gurley play for right now?
He was already hurt with a knee injury.
But who does he play for right now?
Nobody.
I mean, he's yeah. We know that my point is that it's always a consistent theme that these guys typically get a running back where they are the main workhorse. Now, Todd Gurley was in a split backfield situation. Yes, but Todd Gurley was coming off of a knee injury when he got drafted. I think he was drafted by Atlanta, right?
No, he was drafted by he now plays for Atlanta. He was drafted by the Rams.
Rams, okay.
He was drafted by the Rams.
So who was his quarterback?
Jared Goff.
There you go.
Oh yeah, bad. Yeah, terrible.
Saquon. Who was Saquon's quarterback? Adrian Peterson's quarterback.
Oh, that's a good one. Was it? It was a mix of them. But what was it? He played for the Bears. Did he? Was it Carson something?
It doesn't matter. The point is,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who his quarterback was.
Christian McCaffrey had Cam Newton for what, like a year, maybe, and then Cam got hurt, and then it was all Christian McCaffrey. Right?
Christian McCaffrey absolutely was a difference maker for the 49ers if Brock Purdy and everyone.
That's what I'm saying. For this offense, that guy fits this scheme, because now you got to look at what the 49ers have done with what's my man Debo, right? He's catching. He's really like a running back / receiver. So right. There weren't any receivers to really get. They thank goodness they got DJ Moore, right? We don't know if Mooney's going to be 100%. And now you got the way that this offense is ran, the receivers can catch the ball.
Christian Ponder, that is who his quarterback was.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
hey,
What you saying?
I will say this to back up Joe's point though. Even though, like I said yesterday, I gave y'all a little bit of a draft breakdown. Bijan Robinson is definitely a 4-down back. The reason why Saquon was so fresh last year is because he had a capable backup running back as well too, and with them having Herbert because like Deontay Foreman is cool. I think that Herbert's going to continue to be the backup. With that, and with having Justin Fields as the runner, and now with him having weapons. So now you expect him to be also the passer of the football. He's going to be a lot fresher than I think people actually realize, which is why I kind of say I'm not tripping if they go 9, because it's going to make them more lethal. And you also got the running back and the quarterback that you now got to account for in the game. And we know that the name of the game is points. I mean, even to this aspect, right? Same thing that I was telling Kia, like, nowadays you got to score points. Everything is a mathematics game. We talk about Lamar Jackson just for a quick second. When Lamar Jackson is in the Ravens lineup, 45-16, they score 25 a game. When he's not, as good as y'all feel like Snoop Huntley can run that offense, they're averaging 10 points a game. So it's a difference.
I get you.
No, and yeah, and that's not a shot at you. That's not a shot at you.
I think.
Well, let me add this point too. Remember, y'all, as Paul said, this is a rebuild. This is not we're going to go right to Super Bowl.
Technically, he never said it, but
okay. Now we're going to get technical.
He kills me with that, bro. He'd be like, "We're not rebuilding. Hey, get Roquan the heck out of here. I can't do it. We're not is he talented? Get him out of here."
This team. All I'm saying is, even with all the picks we have, we're looking at a 2-year draft cycle.
Yeah.
Before we get everybody in here. So why pass on the highest rated player that we can get that fits the system over? We got an 80. This guy's rated like a 90, 91.
Yeah.
And you can get a couple tackles. They're both, because your point is Paris Johnson, Skoronski, all of them. I think they gave, let's just say Skoronski's rated at a 90 on Draft Buzz or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like 87, 80, 88, 85. You can get all that in the second round, third round.
Well, Skoronski's a guard. The guard, or they're grading Skoronski as a guard, I should say. The guard.
He's not a guard, though, right?
Yeah, he's not. He's a left tackle, but literally they are grading him as a guard. Like, it is so widely considered that if we draft this dude, he's going to get kicked inside. That it's crazy.
What's the deal? What's the deal with who's this Lucas Patrick? Because they signed him last year.
Nobody knows. That's the problem. Nobody knows.
They signed him to be the center, right? I mean,
they signed him to be the center. Technically, he can play guard as well, but you just don't know.
Don't know.
That's the problem.
We got Braxton Jones left, right? We got the new guy from Tennessee left guard, possibly.
Yeah. He'll be your right guard. They're gonna put him in right guard. They've Tevin Jenkins has confirmed that he's going to play left guard.
So Tevin, either way, we only really need technically one.
You need a right tackle and you do need a center. But here's your problem, right? The Bears' biggest issue, and this is what I think, right? Like, I don't think you're going to have a ton of drafts where you can address it like this one, which is why to me you can't waste picks on a running back. The Bears' biggest issue right now.
You keep saying on a running back.
I'm saying what I'm saying. You can't waste picks on a running back right now, because if you're now Bijan, I do want to say this, and I said this in my Bijan video. Bijan's amazing. He really is. Like he is going to be. He is a can't miss player. If you draft him, he's going to be productive. If you draft him, he's going to be a probably 1,200-yard back. He's going to be one of those running backs that we talked about yesterday, right? Where you're not sitting here having the conversation on, he's 1,000-yard back. That's like 50 yards a game. No, he's going to be one of them dudes that's getting 80 to 100 yards a game, probably with 30 to 40 receiving yards.
That's about 4 guys. It's about 4 to 5 guys that I see doing like it's Saquon, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. He'll be talked about as one of those guys, right? But here's my point. Every draft doesn't have offensive tackles. Every draft doesn't have guards. We keep saying, oh, next year you'll be able to get those things. We don't know that. Right? We went through an entire draft. There's literally a draft where the Bears just kept selecting linemen. Who are their names? We don't know. By the way, kid, we do got to go. Remember how we went through, me and Joe was just talking about this. Remember how we went through and looked at all Ryan Pace's picks? Like when he was still here to say like if they were good or bad. Hey, we got to do it again. It's bad. Because we did it while like some of them was still on the team. We were like, he's still a guy. You know, he's not bad. That's not a bad pick. That's a hit. Nah, it's a miss. But
I will say though, you make a perfect point though. Like there's not a lot of drafts in which you get tackles and guards in there until you get to this one. This one is full of them. Like
it is
from that aspect. This one is full of them. So I'm not changing my stance on it because you know how I feel. I've already stated it. I want Peter. I want Paris. I want that.
He just wants Paris so he can call his own name.
Absolutely. There you go. You've said it so many times. I'm gonna roll with it. It's I want those.
That felt like I don't know. That felt like I don't know. That was weird. That was weird.
Listen, you can't cancel me, baby. You can't make me. At this point, I'm gonna keep rolling. But I will say this: it is kind of disingenuous to say, and I see it in the chat. I've heard that sentiment. Pat just don't like running backs.
Unless it's disingenuous
to say that a leading rusher doesn't win, because 9 times out of 10, a leading rusher is on a bad team.
Right. It's just like having a quarterback.
And 9 times out of 10, they're with a quarterback who doesn't like. Who the heck is Derrick Henry's quarterback?
Tannehill.
There we go. Sorry, you winning with Tannehill?
That's what I'm saying. I'm very.
Imagine having that level of talent.
Ezekiel Elliott has had Dak Prescott his whole career.
Exactly. Dak Prescott.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
I can't get him out.
Hey, kid. I want you to say this because you a big Dak guy out here. Dak. I said Dak.
I am big.
Dak.
What you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
All right. Did you need to scratch again?
You just need to specify.
Okay. Wait. Dak is mid.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Hey,
here on the channel. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and Kid we were sitting together watching that Dallas playoff game, and Kid the whole time was just like, What was that?
Hey,
what did you see?
Nobody. I was like,
4 years, bro.
I think, like, to me, like, okay,
he just
we
played
gotta
for the
way
Cowboys
back.
to get a lot of press.
You got Troy Aikman with Emmitt Smith with a great line, right? I mean, he was able to do. I mean, he was Emmitt Smith to me.
But who came after Emmitt?
What you mean? In Dallas?
In Dallas. After Emmitt, you still had 1,000-yard rushers
with the line.
With that offensive line.
That's
where you build it.
But the quarterback play.
Okay. Y'all know how
my point is that
I know how I feel about
if we can finally get a match.
Run, Michael. I missed them. Let's do it again. That was quarterback play back in the 90s.
I'm just saying that to build a team, you only have 3-4 years with most of these guys, anyways. So to get Bijan, who's a top-rated player that can fit that scheme. Plus, why not have the offense that can actually run the ball to keep that defense off? That defense is not going to be rebuilt in 1 year.
Yeah, but see, well, here's the thing. You have an opportunity to get and it's not just offensive line for me. You have an opportunity, right? If the Bears take Kalijah Kancey at 9, win. Because Kalijah Kancey,
I can get him at 2 or 3 though.
No, he's not going to go that high. He's dropping in most draft boards.
We got a lot of draft picks here. This is just one.
You're not. You said we can get him in 2 or 3? No, he won't. No, he won't fall past first round. Kalijah Kancey is like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if Muggs are just not seeing it, but if you watched him at Pitt, and I'm talking about against top offensive line talent, Kalijah Kancey is the second best defensive lineman in this draft to me.
Yeah, but they're saying he said no one's even talked to him.
And that's
tell you that man gonna slide.
Fam.
Back to the second.
If he slides to the second, hey, listen, I would love to see the production there, but I doubt it. I don't think
he's ranked 21 right now.
He's ranked in the 20s right now, but I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all.
Slide to the second. He's only 10 picks away.
When you look at his tape, bro, like he's a monster. And here's what I'm saying though, right? You're saying this defense ain't gonna get fixed anyway. Kalijah Cansey fixes this defense because he's a 3-tech that we could use there.
Oh,
that's true.
I remember too.
Like the one thing that I keep saying about this defense, and I think like we're so worried about the Bears turning into the Bears, right? We're so worried about let me put it on the full screen here. We're so worried about them just being that logo that they've been forever. Right? Like that logo right there, that's built of running backs and defense. No. That's it. That's all it is. No, it's just running backs and defense.
No, that's not true. We have a quarterback. So
no, I'm saying in our history, like that logo is just running backs and defense. We're so worried about them becoming that again that we just want them to get pieces on the offensive side of the ball. My point is you have to attack both sides of these trenches heavily before you can even look at a running back. Because if you don't have a 3 technique, you just paid Tremaine Edmonds for no reason.
But you just look.
You just paid TJ Edwards for no reason.
Yes, but you just said the point is that this guy is one of those few guys that come around every couple years. Not every year is coming out with a solid. Like I looked up the guys you were talking about, Zach Evans and Kenny McIntosh, just based off their highlights, right?
Yeah.
Kenny McIntosh would probably be the guy that that's your late round guy to get, right? But he has no breakaway speed. He's like, he runs like a 4.5, 4.6, right? He can, he was a 3-star dude. This Bijan cat's been a 5-star cat. When he gets the ball, Bijan gone.
Bijan's got breakaway speed for sure.
And Zach Evans, he can't catch the ball. And he doesn't break away from nobody. He's tough. But I'm like, this guy. You talk about having him paired with.
But you've got your breakaway speed back.
Who? With Herbert?
Khalil Herbert's your breakaway speed back. That's all he's good for.
But he can't catch. Not like.
Listen, you're running backs by committee no matter what.
My point is that we got a guy that's a true weapon here that we're still building a team. So why not? I want the best player at each position. I don't want to just get value guys just to get value guys. Why can't I get the best running back or the best left tackle in the draft or the best defensive tackle? Because
the best running backs and all of those guys usually end up giving you some kind of similar production to those top dudes. In some aspect, right? Like we how many seasons have we talked about some dudes showing up off of the practice squad? And he's an inaugural piece.
That happens though because that premier back is injured and they still get those same type of reps.
They get those same touches, right? But I think
of focus, but they still get those same because that star back is injured. Like you look at what happened with what's his name? Even on when Derrick Henry got hurt, I think his backup put up nearly 1,000 yards because he was out for. I think it was. Is it Derrick Henry? Am I wrong?
I don't know about Derrick Henry back. He didn't replace Derrick Henry production.
You got to be talking about Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard's a great one to me.
Was on that team, and then he went over to
Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, but this is. I'm with Joe for this reason and this reason only. Because this is what I will say. Coming from the Giants fan that they got the running back. Saquon wasn't even as complete as Bijan is right now.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that Bijan got that Saquon didn't have when he came in was the pass blocking.
Yeah.
That is something that I think the Bears need, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Second in QB hits, but not only was he second in QB hits. To Joe's point, I'm trying to make this offense as lethal as possible. The name of the game is points. The name of the game is points. Like even the year that Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl. They didn't have a lot of guys on the front line.
They didn't have an offensive line.
And I'm talking about on the D line. Like they didn't have a lot of guys on the D line.
Yeah.
the one aspect that they had that made them so great, third down defense, and they wasn't even getting to the quarterback. They just had a lot of good coverage guys.
I think this is the thing though, Ringo, right? Like Ringo, you're the Giants guy, right? They drafted Saquon. I believe y'all missed out on 2 tackles that you could have taken in that draft. After Saquon's first year, what happened?
He got hurt.
Why would that be different here?
No, he got. It'll be different.
He got hurt midway through his second year, and he was still hurt in his third year.
He played 13 games on his second year.
Yeah, so
a little past
1,000 yards. He had 1,000 yards with a 4.6. I looked it up because I'm
I'm
with the 91 receptions.
But why would that be different here? Y'all got to understand. Here's the Chicago Bears offensive line issue. It's not just the fact that we don't have a starting right tackle. We have no idea who our center is. We hope the right guard works out in Nate Davis. Tevin Jenkins ain't a healthy player. So if Tevin Jenkins get hurt, who's coming behind him?
Nobody's saying that we don't need line.
But what I'm saying is, right, we're talking about offensive production. You don't get all, when I can stick a running back there, when I don't got to worry about if it's going to be a hole for him to run through.
But it doesn't work like that.
What you mean?
Because what happens
That's literally what the 49ers just did.
Look, to your point, no, I want us to do what the 49ers are doing. We are on par.
According to one, love having connections now. According to one, Robbie Gold, they are. they are. Like he's like it's
very similar.
It's like twins.
Now,
my twin in there.
Imagine that if Fields can just be a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo. Them jokers went to the Super Bowl. They had strong running. They had a decent receiver core.
But what's the first thing they had?
They have to have a line. I know that. We're still building this team. My point is that DMC guy, that Debo type caliber guy, that's right there.
CMC, my boy, CMC. You said DMC. I was like, Rev Run.
You know why? Darren McFadden.
Darren McFadden. I get that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but my point is, again, he got chewed up because bad team, bad quarterback, average quarterback play. My point is that we can afford. I think we can afford to take him. We still got a slew of off.
Holly Grossman made this on ESPN, staff writer for ESPN, had this one little exchange, and I like for Bijan, and it's him having an exchange with Howie Roseman, and the question was, why do I need to take you at number 10? And his answer was, you're not going to get a running back. You're going to get a difference maker.
Exactly.
And I like that. And I think that's a good way to end this particular stuff, because the thing is, we're not all going to agree. Like I've always been big on building a line. It makes sense to build the line. Pat's in agreement with that. But I also can see the logic in getting the best available talent, and he is the best available talent. Like seriously, they rate him as the best athlete in the draft outside of Jalen Carter.
Outside of Jalen Carter.
They rate him.
No, yeah, he is. No, outside of Jalen Carter, he is the best athlete in the draft.
He's averaging 6.1 yards a carry. That's better than everybody that's come out in college.
The problem is he's the best talent in potentially, as this writer. She did a great job on this article too, by the way.
Zach Evans averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
Oh, I didn't see that. That was
Zach. I mean, he likes to compare apples and oranges.
I'm just saying.
I say this.
I compared guys. The reason I picked Zach Evans and Kenny McIntosh was because they all are similar build. Bijan 6 foot, Zach Evans 6 foot, Kenny McIntosh 6'1". Kenny McIntosh and Bijan kind of have similar weight. Speed is very different. The speed is Bijan is 6 foot, is moving out here.
He's agile.
But the thing to me, here's the thing that nobody's talking about. How many more carries did Bijan have than the next best back? Talking about getting used, he's got 125 more carries than the next best dude.
But he wouldn't need that if he comes to the Bears. You got a capable backup.
When you have breakaway speed, and we're looking for those couple plays for you to have the opportunity to showcase that. That's the difference you're talking about there. Like you're talking about what can you do if you only had 30 carries, who's going to be the best back out of those 3?
30 carries, a lot of carries.
This is the other thing.
30 carries, a lot of carries. That's a workhorse.
And also, the point is, I want us to build a line. It's all about the trenches. The last time we went to the every time we went to the Super Bowl, we had one of the best lines, and it didn't mean they're all first round picks, but either just good players. So my point is like, huh? When we went to the Super Bowl, the 05 year, that was
they were. It was a good chunk of first round picks in there. Olin was a first round pick, wasn't he?
Krutz was not a first round pick.
What was Olin?
He was like a 4th round pick.
Was Olin that far down?
John Tate was a free agent signing. Ruben Brown was a all pro older dude from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Garza, and
Roberto Garza. Man, I loved me Roberto Garza.
But they put that line together. They got in trouble when Tate retired. When Tate retired,
they couldn't replace him. They couldn't replace. But the problem here's the thing with the Bears though. This is years. This ain't new. Who's our last first round pick? That's a lineman.
What's the name? Son. Howie Long.
Kyle Long.
Yeah.
That's 2011.
Yeah.
You haven't taken a first round lineman since 2000. You know how many, like since Kyle Long has been taken, Hall of Fame careers have happened.
Well, I mean, it's scouting. And you know what Jimmy Johnson said? He said the thing about linemen is that your position coaches can make or break you in terms of the player, right? So you can get a highly rated blue star lineman who's already going to be good, but if he's in the right system, he's going to be probably Hall of Famer, depending on the coaching. Yeah. My thing is this: the top tackles right now in the NFL: Lane Johnson, first round pick, yes, from Eagles; Trent Williams, first round pick, yep, and Mike McGlinchey, another first round pick. But then you got Ben Powers in the 4th, Bakhtiari was a 4th rounder, Orlando Brown Jr. 3rd rounder, Jason Kelsey 6th rounder, Jordan Mailata 7th rounder, Donovan Smith 2nd rounder, Terran Armstead 3rd rounder, and then Ronnie Stanley 1st rounder. Like our left tackle is a 5th round Braxton Jones, and he's a
5th round pick. He's a 5th round pick.
So you can get the talent if the scheme and the coaching is right.
You don't even like Braxton.
I don't.
Hey, look, he's just trying to use Braxton as an example. No, I'm not letting you off the hook on that. You don't even like Braxton.
I know, but the point is they're sticking with him. They see something in him.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. They are sticking with him, my boy. They are like, I'm like, hey, look, Broderick Jones done this his whole career. Looks pretty good. Nah, we good. I bet.
Now I know we have to have with Mark, fellas.
I'm not mad if they take Bijan.
I will say this. If they take Bijan, and here's my olive branch to bridge all of this. If they take Bijan, I will be upset that you selected a running back 9th overall. I would be less upset if we end up trading back and take him at like 17, but I'd still be upset that you took a running back in the 1st round. I know he didn't miss. Bijan's a can't miss player. I know that Ryan Poles didn't miss in his 1st round pick. He's a can't miss player. He's going to be a Saquon. He's going to be a Ezekiel Elliott. Now, hopefully not now, right? Like he's gonna be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Hey man,
but
I would be upset if he trades back. You already traded back. Stop. Stay where you are.
Well, listen. If you can still get an impact, like they saying, Kalijah Cansey's gonna go 20. If that's crazy to me. If you can get if you can trade back to 17, get Kalijah Cansey, get the 32nd pick back, and like you doing some willing and dealing, like that's a good trade.
I've seen his willing and dealing from last season. I've seen his selection from last season. I don't trust that it's improved. You kind of are who you are.
His selection.
Are you talking about Poles?
Ryan Poles got
Poles drafted. What are you talking about?
He got 3.
Hold on. What am I talking about?
He got 3. He got 3 starters.
What am I talking about? What did?
Okay. You talking about Bayless Jones?
We were talking about who the heck is that guy?
No, we weren't.
You talking about Bayless Jones?
No, we weren't.
What you Jaquan Brisker?
Hey, you trying to mute him? You trying to mute him?
He can try to mute me all he wants to. All I'm saying is this.
Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, and Braxton Jones all came out of the same draft.
around. That's all I gotta say about that, man. We got to shift.
You got three starters. You got 3 starters out of the first draft.
Yeah, fam. We stole everybody away on the defense. I could have started on the freaking defense. What are we talking about here?
He said he was sleepy when he came in.
Hey, you drafted your sack leader last season.
Yeah.
Jaquan Brisker with 4.
No. I've always told you Brisker was a dog.
Kyler Gordon. I'd have took Pickens over Gordon. I still would have took George Pickens over Gordon.
I would have taken several receivers over Gordon.
Hey, you want to know why? Because I don't know about several. I'd have taken Pickens. You like Alec Pierce. I think Alec Pierce is the dude. But the thing for me is
he dropped it.
He dropped it. He got it to him. He dropped it.
Matt Ryan's noodle arm got it to him. Gotcha.
He got it to him. He dropped it.
He dropped that money. He got a lot of drops last year. I think his catch percentage is like 52 or something like that. It's bad. But what I was gonna say, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show Love, man. We are at the halfway point. Hit that like y'all see how football is on this channel, man. Football is God out here. Well, hey, relax. Football is king out here. Yeah, I mean, I had to pull that back a little bit. Yeah, football is king. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to Show Love. As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I'm going to put Paris on the screen right now because I got to tell you guys about goat coats out here, man. Y'all see that phenomenal black jacket Paris is wearing? Bow! Yeah, you see that black blazer that turns into literal sports fandom. You can get one of those over at Goat Coats. Hey, we got the draft coming up, boys. If you want a Bijan Robinson goat coat, hopefully in a Chicago Bears jersey, according to Joel, then you can get that at goatcoats.com. Like literally, you're able to go out, you can be stylish, you can be fashionable and style underneath the jacket. But when you want that fandom to show, you just whip them sides out right there. Hold up, kid, do it for him real quick. Hold up, one more time. Like that. Just whip them sides out real quick. Please have clothes on underneath the jacket if you're doing that. We don't want anybody getting any lawsuits out here.
I came with my shorts under the
Hey, hooping in the goat coat is crazy, bro. And for a limited time, you can get a discount. You can get 5% off with the promo code Windy City. Or if you buy 2 items or more, you can get 15% off with the promo code Windy City 2. Go to GoCoast.com right now because they are selling Chicago merch for Chicago fans. All right, boys. Now listen.
I said this before because I know we have a particular topic. I don't know if this is considered breaking news. It happened this morning, though. It happened before the show, right before the show started.
What we got?
Nick Nurse got fired.
Nick Nurse did get fired today. That is kind of breaking news. Not really, though. I knew that was coming.
That's a sinking ship.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
I was cool with it just because.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I had to start going around to like all my Raptors fans that I know because I actually know a lot of people like in Raptors media stuff like that, which was surprising. They all said the same thing. Nick Nurse is not dissimilar to Billy Donovan, which I keep telling y'all. Most coaches in the NBA are Billy Donovan. Most NBA coaches are Billy Donovan.
Who was the coach that actually built that squad and he got fired and went to Detroit?
He's also terrible. He also got he got fired but promoted. He got John Paxson.
No,
he's a part of their front office right now. He got promoted to their front office in Detroit. Because here's the thing. Dwayne Casey selected. No, he got fired. Dwayne Casey selected a lot of the players, though. Like, he was big on, like, the scouting for a lot of the players that are there. So you don't want to lose them, right? I think we all thought Detroit was about to have a year until Cade got hurt. So I think Cade's a good player. I like how Detroit, I'm saying this, is building their team up.
Detroit is rebounding in a lot of ways in a lot of their different sports.
Yeah.
Lions, I think the Pistons have a decent future. I like what they're building collectively for that city.
I like listen, I mean, you still just got the Tigers, but I'm a White Sox fan, so I can't say much because Jesus, like hey Jerry, anything. Hey, bro.
Shout out to Liam while we on that.
Fam, shout out to Liam. Oh yeah, that is breaking news. Clap it up real quick. Everybody clap it up real quick. Liam Hendricks cancer free.
I can't let that.
Liam Hendricks cancer free. Hope to have you back soon, Liam. Loved hearing that yesterday. I was so excited to hear that because he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I mean, it was nerve-wracking there for a little while, but he pulled it out. Tough competitor. Love to see that. I mean, yeah, it's just when you look at a lot of these organizations, I keep telling us, When you look at a lot of these coaches, they have a lot of the same problems. You just ain't got a superstar. You just ain't got a superstar. Y'all want to know when Nick Nurse was a good coach?
When he had a superstar.
When he had Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi freaking Leonard.
Y'all want to know when he's a bad coach?
You don't have
when he ain't got Kawhi Leonard, and he's not a bad. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, you want to know when Billy Donovan was at his best?
Westbrook.
Westbrook and KD.
Did he have KD too?
Had KD, had Russ, had Paul George. He did have KD that first year. The 3-1 year is him and KD. Yes, it is.
He
didn't have James Harden. He didn't have James Harden. He didn't have James Harden. But I laugh at it because we sleep on that so often. I need y'all to understand this. Frank Vogel's not a good head coach. He's got an NBA championship.
No, I disagree with that.
He had LeBron. Frank Vogel's not a good head coach. Frank Vogel has the same things that Billy Donovan had. He does. We said this, kid. You said this. He don't adjust his lineups to play against the teams he's playing. He went up against teams that they should have been able to out-rebound handedly. You got Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee sitting on the bench. They needed point guard play. Rondo can't get a minute.
You know why I changed my tune on that one when I looked at it?
Because we're having this debate right now.
Seriously.
The cameras are on.
You can't play two bigs with LeBron.
You can't play two bigs with LeBron.
Hear me out. Go back. You got to go back and look at it. LeBron started taking more threes, especially last 2 seasons. But like when you really look at it, LeBron needs that lane, and he had 2 bigs in, and LeBron was being real ineffective, and his shooting percentage was down. So he took one of the bigs out, and his shooting percentage went up, and he had the lane. And it was like, I get it now.
But who's the two bigs?
So he was playing 2 bigs at one point. He was playing Howard and I mean he had Howard, he had Drummond or Jordan, whatever it was. He played 2 bigs for a minute, and that's when they was killing people on the inside. I mean, destroying people.
And they were winning.
But LeBron wasn't as effective.
Yeah, because he's a freaking vacuum. How's he going to triple double?
It's like I see why he stopped putting 2 bigs on there, because he had to get the best out of LeBron. Because those 2 bigs,
hey kid, he wasn't putting 1 big out there. That was the problem. He said no bigs, and then the Lakers just couldn't rebound.
He stopped, because when he stopped doing it, and you see LeBron's effectiveness go up, it's like, okay, I have to put a roster on the floor that fits what he does. And the bigs being where they were and how they have to operate didn't fit what LeBron
I gotta put a roster on the floor that fits what he does. Let's go get Russ. Wait, what? Huh? What?
He ain't had. Hey, that was a LeBron James decision.
What?
That was a LeBron James decision. That was everybody. I'm not gonna make it seem as if.
Hey, by the way,
did not go out, fly out, have a whole off-season lunch with this man and say we're gonna make this happen. Come to LA, and he comes to LA, and then all of a sudden they're like, man, this is trash. By
the way, Russell Westbrook can play basketball again. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. I don't know if anybody else.
How much you dropped last night, Pat?
30. Slight 30 piece. 11. It's just
is he effective from the field?
Oh man, mad effective. I mean, it's crazy. Like he can make layups again. It was crazy, bro. Like it's
crazy
just
what he looked like when he ain't got to worry about somebody.
Oh my God, bro. I told y'all, bro. Everybody was like, I don't want Russ on my team. That'll be a disaster. I was like, the dude. By the way, the shot that would have made it a 2-point game, that would have again put them in range to actually try and win it with time on the clock, because you would have been able to try and pull off a 2-for-1. He kicks it to Bones Highland, and it hits every single part of the rim and rims out.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking shot.
Yeah.
Hey, anytime I see a shot like that, I'm not gonna lie, I always do that. Y'all remember? I think it was a Jordan shot, and it was a game-winning shot, and he missed it. And for some reason, the announcer was just losing his mind at the shock that Jordan missed the game-winning shot, like he never does it. And they were like, he was just like, it rimmed out. And I was like, dang, dog. You excited for the miss, bro? Like, come on now.
Because it almost went in.
Doesn't miss.
Hey, bro, that mug rimmed out bad too. That mug hitting like, I was like, oh. But yeah, the Westbrook slander has to stop. He's a bona fide Hall of Famer. Every player that he has ever played with, you can say, oh my God, he sucks the air out of the room. He takes us away. Has gotten their career best year. And everyone loves him.
It's not that. It's just that when you got a low shooting percentage, and then you also have kind of poor basketball IQ as well. And he
poor basketball IQ.
Yeah,
poor basketball IQ.
He don't have
ever
poor
since
basketball IQ.
Poor basketball IQ.
Hey, Pat,
Yeah, dude coming down just he almost like Zach, just come down, waste his shot. It's like, bro, we got like
throwing people open.
The one thing about
that's
Russ,
crazy.
That's
crazy.
I'm not lying.
That's crazy.
You're not lying. You're not lying. The full Russell Westbrook experience is a lot of good with some very untimely bad, and it's like that's the full.
That's
Russell
not
Westbrook experience.
that's not poor basketball IQ though.
No.
It is.
No. Pat. It's certain plays.
So Russell Westbrook don't know basketball.
I didn't
You're
say
trying
no
to put this in a
basketball.
vacuum, and that's not gonna work here, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
Poor basketball IQ means you don't know basketball.
No, he makes very low IQ plays at untimely moments. That doesn't mean he don't know basketball. Clearly, he knows basketball, but it's like, hey, you need to understand that this is not the moment to go 100,000 miles an hour. And because you're going 100,000 miles an hour, that's probably why you're not getting the touch on this layup that's going so high off glass. It's probably why that pass didn't get
right.
That's probably why this offense
he plays aggressive.
Been ran differently. It's not going to. This is not the moment for that. He needs to be better in closing moments.
He plays aggressive, but Russell Westbrook has found people for some of the most clutch shots.
Like I said,
Russell Westbrook has found Kevin Durant in the corner for like. See, this is the part that I love to debate with Russ, right? Because it's like Russ has these moments where like Russ is a player that half of his game, the biggest part of his game, is very predicated on other people showing up.
Yes,
the part that people don't want to talk about in that Kevin Durant playoff series is Russ finding KD wide open in the corner for a lot of missed threes. Okay. Russ finding KD on the wing, mid-range, wide open for a lot of missed shots, right? Even with Paul George in the playoff series, Russ, why did Russ start taking over? Paul George was cooking, but when you actually look at it, there are long stretches where Paul George just stopped being able to make buckets.
And I love the fact that you mentioned that series because that same series with KD, if you watch it, there's a lot of moments where KD is cooking and KD's the best player on the floor. KD's the best player on any team.
KD's always the best player on the floor.
So I'm glad you recognize that. So now that you recognize that, if that man is cooking and you've been feeding him the ball, it's not your time to sit there to say, I'm going to take these next 5 shots. And that's what Russ has done. He's made some very untimely mistakes. That doesn't mean that the totality of his game means that he's a bad player, but it's like in certain moments, you're not playing what they would consider winning basketball based off of the situation at hand. There's some moments on the Lakers. No, the situation at hand, he did not live up to it. And that's what it's like, hey, you're being held as the guy. There's a certain level, there's a certain expectation and know-how when it comes to these moments that he doesn't always live up to. That's the only knock on him. So you can defend him.
This is my favorite part, though. This is my favorite part. This is what the fans say. This is what we sit here and say.
No.
This is not what pros say. This is not what
the pros say.
This is not what the pros. This is not what the pros that play with him says. This is not what the pros that play with him say. You know what? Who wanted what Russell Westbrook on his team? Paul George. He was begging for him. He was like, "Are you kidding me? Go get me Russell Westbrook."
Well, how far did they go?
They're still in it right now.
No. How far? I'm saying in general, is a Westbrook-led team went anywhere. Like Westbrook was one of my favorite.
They went to the second round.
Did everybody else show up though?
Westbrook was one of my favorite players on that Oklahoma squad because I was rooting for him to beat Miami.
Hold on, man. No,
and I
let him talk. Let him talk.
I literally seen this dude come down there and gun them out of the game. It's like, what are you doing?
Hey, Joe.
This dude.
Who was their best shooter on that team?
Bad player. We're saying that he makes very
who was that? No, who was their best shooter on that team with Paul George?
You talking about the second iteration of Oklahoma? I'm talking about
either iteration. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you talking about the first?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Either iteration with KD, without KD, with Paul George, with just Russ. Who was their best shooters?
Who was?
My statement is
With
based
Kevin
off-
Durant, Thabo Cephalosha.
Hold on. My first I know the second iteration team wasn't that good at all.
That's the Kevin Durant team.
My point
It's
is that
KD and then Thabo Cephalosha.
they were in the. My point was they were my
Next
favorite
best dude.
squad and when they lost in the finals, and that man, they literally lost that. They had it, and after that, he's been on pretty much the same plane ever since. Yeah, it's great he can get triple doubles, but it doesn't matter in the playoffs when we need you to really make the smart decisions and
Right.
lead your team somewhere.
Right.
He barely got the second round.
But you have to. Here's the thing. You also have to take into account. It's about the team construction around that man. Very much like we talk about with LeBron. Why is LeBron in the second half of the season cooking? He got shooters on his team. He's able to facilitate the ball to people that can knock down shots. He was facilitating the ball to Russell Westbrook. He ain't a shooter. Like, you need shooters around certain kinds of players. Russ needs shooters around him. The team after that with Paul George, best shooter on that team, Andre Roberson. And then they got rid of Paul George.
Yes, I'm not.
And it's still Andre Roberson.
But even when they went to that first round, when Russ got the MVP and they went up and they went against Houston, much forget every single game that they played, they had to leave. Russ had to leave, so the bench lost the lead because they had nobody else, and that was legit. He was carrying that team because that's when they had Kyle Singler, Thabo Cephalosha.
Oh, it's gross. They did bring Thabo back, didn't they?
It's there, by the way.
That's gross. That's gross.
Vic was a baby. So then after that,
Who was the baby?
Victor Oladipo.
Oh yeah, Vic was terrible. I forgot about Vic. Oh, yeah. Vic was terrible in OKC.
So then they get PG and Melo. Melo stopped showing up.
That's Billy Donovan. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan effed that one up. Hey, Melo's done in the NBA. This man played 9 more seasons.
So then after that, they tried to say Russ goes to Houston. Oh man, this James Harden thing won't mix. James Harden got hurt magically. Then Russ started putting up triple doubles. After that, James Harden come back, and then y'all stuck in the same situation that y'all was before. Then after that, you ship him off to LA.
He actually had an MVP season though.
Yeah, it's come on now. Like,
the problem is Russ is not a player that can be a number 2, but he's being forced to be a number 2 because 2 things haven't evolved for him. One, touching the game hasn't evolved for him. There's legends who literally sit there and say, man, he just needs to know how to slow down a little bit right here. And if he did that legends are saying that, not guys like us in basements talking sports, right? That's the one thing I always give that credit, because guess what? They actually play that, and the eye test shows you that. He does a lot of good. I'm never taking away his good. But the bad that shows up as frequently as it shows up, like for instance, his first game in the playoffs, great game, right? He had a lot of defensive stops. The man shot 15%.
Yeah, he's not a shooter.
He got the game-winning stop and block.
He's not a shooter though.
You sit there, you're arguing and you're yelling at, but guess what? The full Russell Westbrook experience is a lot of good with some untimely bad. They won that game. I love it, but guess what? It is still not good basketball from the aspect of you can't shoot 15%. Like, he can't get away with that ever again.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You didn't bring. Here's the difference though. You didn't bring Russ here to be the number 2. PG got hurt. You brought Russ here to be the number 3.
How many pros?
And he was doing a phenomenal job at that.
I would say he's doing a good job. He's not shows up in ways that you don't expect it. Like, I didn't expect him to show up defensively the way he did against that team, and it's been great.
I mean, I did. Chris Paul. I actually expect. Kid died. Kid, come back, kid. Westbrook cut kids' internet. Westbrook cut kids' internet.
I don't like the way this dude talking about
Westbrook reminds me. He reminds me of early Michael.
Westbrook's in your house, kid. Get out. Westbrook's in your house. Get out, kid. He's coming full speed to the basement.
But Westbrook plays like early Michael Jordan.
That might be a. Yeah, but he's done that his whole career. I agree with you. Here's the thing. I agree with people that I'll say this. The difference that came in De'Aaron Fox, Russ never had. De'Aaron Fox, like, I don't know if y'all remember first 2 years of De'Aaron Fox. It was very John Wall like.
He couldn't slow
Very
down.
John
He
Wall.
couldn't slow down. Like he would take off and he'd just be under the bucket. The difference with Russ is Russ can take off and stop on a dime and then just be like, oh, I'm under here. And then he can dunk it. De'Aaron Fox didn't have that. But De'Aaron Fox had to have that moment. I think because Russ had that, he never had that moment where he was like, oh man, like I need to slow down so that I can make this move and get to the bucket and make this lay and do this. Because Russ literally could just like stop, move you out of the way because he's a bulldog, go up and make an easy lay over a contested center.
Yeah.
But what I think we need to stop saying about certain guys is that like they can have low IQ moments.
That's what we said.
No, you said he's a low IQ player.
No, I did not.
That is literally
That's
what was
not-
said.
that's
That
not-
was the
that's
entire
not what
debate.
I said.
That is the
I know-
entire
no,
debate.
Hold on, wait, no.
That's not the debate.
Wait, hold
We're
on.
arguing something that's not-
Joel started this by saying he's a low IQ player.
Hold on. No, kid. So Kid said he has low IQ moments at untimely times.
And basically, that's exactly what I meant.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But here's the thing, right? Like that's discrediting. Like you're not an assist leader if you're not smart at basketball. You're just not. You're not a guy that can get 11 assists if you don't know where people are on the floor.
Dude.
You don't turn players into the best versions that you've ever seen of themselves if you don't know basketball.
Here's a question. I got a question. Why is it? Because I find that it's literally just with Russ. When it comes on the court, we talk about this dude so like when it comes to his bad moments on the court, we highlight that mess. But then it's just like, okay,
Chris Paul get to be Jesus Christ though.
Look, that's all.
Chris Paul get to walk around like he Jesus Christ though.
Because he got the defensive stop in the game when a block is like, it was all right.
Like those are huge moments in basketball.
I actually made a post about it. Like I was happy. Like
that's why.
But he sat there and put up a clinic defensively. Like like he's being impactful. I'm with it. You want to know why we sit there and talk about him so loudly when those bad plays comes up? Because I have a whole montage of Russell Westbrook hitting the side of the backboard from an angle that I didn't even think was possible.
Terrible. Hey, I was with you on that. Terrible shot. Terrible shot.
That man
terrible
is
shot.
on the elbow and he hits the top of the backboard. How do you do that?
Hey, I was with you on that. His career in LA. But see, here's the problem though, right? That's like we talked about with Billy Donovan when you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
No, Pat.
That player never.
I'm not gonna give you that right there. You want to know why? Because in basketball, this ain't football. In basketball, that shot right there, you're supposed to be able to make that shot. That's why you get paid $40 million.
Hey, but if he don't,
that's why you get paid $40 million.
That's not why he got paid. See, that's the problem. That's not why he got paid $40 million.
Top of the backboard. That's why I'm paying you $50.
That's not why he got paid $40 million. That's not why he got paid $40 million. It's not. It's just not.
Pat.
So they pay. You're wrong. Actually, they pay Russell Westbrook $40 million in OKC because he could shoot. They pay Russell. Tell me that. They pay Russell Westbrook $40 million in OKC because he could shoot.
At $40 million,
they pay Russell Westbrook $40 million in OKC because he could shoot.
Hey, at 40,
I want you to say that. I want you to say that. I want you to say that. They pay Russell Westbrook $40 million in OKC because he could shoot.
Yeah.
He's missing wide open.
They paid Russell. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. He like to pivot off of the point. Man, come on. You know what I mean? They paid Russ because he could shoot. They paid Russ because he could shoot. They paid Russ because he could shoot. That's what kids said. That's what kids said. Hey, y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. They paid Russell Westbrook for shooting in OKC. That's what they paid him for. That's what they paid him for. Hey, that's what they paid him for. Hey, go defend Kyrie somewhere. Go defend Kyrie somewhere. Go defend Kyrie and him destroying every team he's ever been on. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We didn't get to half the stuff we did because of a Russell Westbrook debate. This is how it always goes on this show.
No one made.
This is how it always goes. Bro, what are you talking about? Joel literally said he's a low IQ player.
Because he's done a lot of dumb, low IQ stuff.
Like, come on, dog. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Hey, I gotta get that. You want to know how we argue? I swear, I gotta get that clip where it's like, oh boy, arguing the Wizard of Oz. That's not me and Kid be arguing Kyrie and Russ. You're gonna tell me I'm wrong, bro? She came down in a bubble, bro. Grow up, bro. Hey, bro, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Well, at least we got a TikTok clip out of this. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love, as always, man. Follow us on everything follow me on everything at Path the Designer. You can follow Ringo on everything at Stefan the Don 1. You can follow P Kid on everything at 1P Kid. Ringo, why when I put the camera on you, you bit your lip, bro? What's going on with that, bro? Why every time I put the camera on you, it's a lip bite, bro? What's going on with that, bro? Right, fam, you were zoomed in on the screen. Everybody's looking that close. Hey, follow the super producer. He ain't really got no socials, but super producer Joe will hold out here.
I'm gonna hook it up.
This man has no Twitter, nothing. Hey, actually, he might need to stay off of Twitter whole time. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. As always. Hey, don't follow AD. It's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.
You're wondering why your feet look like that.
Feed looking wild.
He's not even here.
The best show for Chicago sports.
All you see, all you see on the feed is just like black excellence. Black.
Oh my God, how did we get here?